The US government has developed some of the most advanced and dangerous technologies in the world. Among these, few are more infamous than the atomic bomb. It's no surprise then that the US invested a great deal of effort into researching the effects of radiation. Many of these experiments were ethical and productive, but some were not, and perhaps the worst was Project Sunshine. Starting in 1953, the US wanted to know whether ongoing atomic tests were affecting the general population. The Atomic Energy Commission debated over how they could investigate such a sensitive subject, and eventually settled on a grim solution. They would secretly steal bodies, mostly those of babies and children, and conduct tests on them. Members of the project were told to secretly work, quote, through personal contacts with foreign doctors, to slowly assemble samples. It would arouse less suspicion to spread out the body snatching across the world, rather than gather them all in one place. Documents record the AEC commissioner at the time claiming, if anybody knows how to do a good job of body snatching, they will really be serving their country. From Britain to Australia, US agents retrieved parts or whole bodies of young children to measure the amount of strontium-90 being absorbed into their bones. Secrecy meant that they didn't ask the parents first. Grieving parents would simply find that their child's body had mysteriously gone missing, or were fed a lie for why the body couldn't be returned to them. In one famous case reported in Britain, a mother was prevented from personally preparing her son's body for the funeral because doctors had to hide the fact that they'd removed his legs and sent them away for Project Sunshine. Scientists used the samples in experiments and produced several studies, none of which revealed the true origins of their material. The AEC maintained that the advancements in medical knowledge were worth the ethical violations. All in all, 1,500 bodies were stolen or cut up to fuel Project Sunshine's experiments. While the experiments themselves were known for decades, it was only much later that the theft of human bodies became known. In 1995, President Clinton set up a committee to investigate radiation experiments, of which Project Sunshine proved to be the most controversial. Their report concluded that while the AEC had given plenty of thought to the legality of body snatching, quote, there is no evidence that it sought to consider any independent ethical requirements for disclosure to the families of the subjects or the subjects themselves.